Good morning. So this is kind of a video to double down on the short clip I posted last night. Because the more I think about it, the more like concerning and alarming and kind of scary it is, if I'm being honest. Now that the original, like most of the humor and stuff from like working a long day, it has worn off. But I'm out again, headed to work. And it's 6:30 in the morning. And it's dark because it's January, and I still would love to deposit this check in the bank, because it needs to go into the bank. And I really don't have a lot of time, for the next couple of days, unless it's when I'm coming or when I'm going. So I can't go in during the open hours. They've been closed for the holiday. And sometimes the areas that I work in require me to travel, and there isn't like a First Advantage nearby, but I may have to make that, sacrifice today and for my safety and for the greater good. But please be careful out there. Please be careful. I want to say for everyone in general, period, because I really don't know what the intention was. If it was something, or if it could have been nothing, but it also very well could have been something. And it definitely felt like something. So just, don't let unfortunately, the world we live in, don't let your guard down and go to banks or ATMs outdoors, or even the drive-thrus at nighttime. If it's dark, because it's dark at 4:30 these days, don't go. It's not worth it, because again, I'm still thinking about where I live. My First Advantage that's closest to me, it's located off of a main road, so Jefferson Avenue. And then there is a small back road. And in between that back road, there's a secondary way to get into First Advantage that goes directly into their drive-through area. There's a small elementary school. A little bit further down the road, there's actually just houses. And again, I'm just, kind of restating, I was coming home last night at 9:30. And although it didn't feel late to me, and although I've lived in this area most of my life, I just didn't think of it at the time, because it's been so long since I've, really it's been talked about and been kind of in the forefront of my mind, which is, partially my responsibility, partially, the killer / whoever's out there in the shadows at nighttime. But please be careful. Again, I turned off of, not even that I was coming from Jefferson, but I turned off the main road because it was easier for me with my window that I need on this side of the car to go in from the back road. And it wouldn't have made a difference, I don't think. The only difference that this made, that may have been lucky or for my own best benefit, is the fact that I did take this back road. And although this man was literally standing in the road, just standing in the road. And I was trying to describe this to my friend yesterday. What was he doing? He wasn't talking on his phone. He wasn't animated, he stepped outside for a phone call. He wasn't really walking anywhere. He didn't even really look like he had a coat on. He was just standing in the middle of the road. He didn't really move too much when I was coming down the road, and the lights, the headlights from the vehicle, to shield his eyes or anything. And I'm this is the more I think about it, the scarier this shit really was. It really was what? And he was a little bit past where I had to turn. He didn't move out of the road at all. And I turned, and he was so unsettling that I was immediately no, just immediately no. No, I don't feel comfortable slowing down to put my car in park, to roll down my window, to probably, for me, unfasten my seatbelt because I'm short and my wingspan is very short. It doesn't even matter. I don't know. He could have been doing nothing, but he very well, in the way the whole thing felt like he could have definitely been doing something. I don't know if it was just him alone. I don't know if there were friends in the bushes. I don't really fucking know. But the fact of the matter is, don't give them an opportunity. So, whether he wanted my damn check that has no value and only I can cash it, whether he thought there was going to be cash withdrawal, or whether this nigga wanted me, I don't know. And I'm not going to find out. I'm not here to find out. No. But and I was talking about that to my friend, and I'm just like, it was kind of, still joking about it. It was super concerning, but I still had a little bit more sense of humor about it last night. And I'm like, trying to describe to her, like, we're trying to rationalize it, make it make sense. And I'm like, no, like, no, he wasn't doing anything. That's also why it was creepy, because he literally wasn't doing anything. He wasn't moving that around that much. Like, it's a person, and he's like, it's, but he's just not doing a lot of like movements to show he's an active. And I mean, he could have been autistic, he could have been lost, he could have had Alzheimer's, I don't know. He wasn't really wearing a coat. I don't know. He could have lived in the neighborhood just back there, most likely, and just been walking down his street at nighttime like people do. I don't know. And until I know, I'm not going to put myself in that position regardless. So, all of that to say, like, I just fucking sped through. There was nothing worth it. And again, I probably won't be able to put my check in the bank because it's 6:30 in the morning and it's dark as hell out here. And again, like, he done freaked me out. And again, I don't feel the need to experience that again in case his shift is ended and the next creepy person's shift has started. So it just is what it is. I'll have to find some time today to run to the bank and deposit a check. So that's a little annoying, a little inconvenient, because I have a busy week. But the moral of the story is, please, I know saying be aware of your environment or your settings at all time is a little, that's a little broad, and it's hard to say that because we all get caught up. But if you try to just keep checking in, and if something looks suspicious, don't try and figure that shit out in the safety of your home later. Make sure you get out of that situation. Don't stop. It's still a bank. It's still the holiday time, and I'm still dealing with money one way or the other, depositing a check or picking up cash. So, be very careful. Just be careful. Man, woman, I mean, especially my women, especially young people, these young ladies, not even young ladies. Fuck that. Women, period. People, period. Human trafficking, sex trafficking. I don't know. Robbery. I don't know. I fucking don't know. And I don't want to know. So I don't want y'all to have to worry about, I was thinking too when I got home, I felt, and there's nothing I can do, a little guilty. I'm like, I can't call the police because he didn't do anything. And it's scary because what if somebody else comes to the ATM, behind me? Somebody's a little bit slower, a little bit more naive. So that's also why I'm making this video, besides the fact that it's still there. And then I was immediately reminded of it because I was thinking I would grab my coffee and I would deposit the check in the ATM and then keep going on my way to work, because I have an hour, a little over an hour's drive ahead of me before I even can get to work. And hell no, it just being back out in the dark, having to go to work, because it's work related, coming or going, immediately made me think of yesterday. So obviously I'm making this in the parking lot of a Starbucks. I'm about to get in line. But whether it's Christmas time or holiday time, whether it's January or fucking June, just be careful. Just please remember that. If somebody looks suspicious, it could have been nothing, but it definitely could have been something. And if it was something, it could save your life. Don't stop. It's not worth it. I'll figure that shit out later. Okay? At least you'll be alive and safe to figure that shit out later. I don't know. And that part is kind of a little scary. You don't know. And I'm usually one to brush it off. I mean, I talk about the killer all the time, but I like to think, I am a strong, capable woman. And I'm like, don't fuck with me because you got the wrong one. But I don't know. I mean, I'm still I'm 5'1". I'm like, I ain't got too much meat on my bones. I got some meat, but, I ain't got a whole lot of meat. And I ain't got a whole lot of height, So, especially compared to no grown-ass man. No. Y'all, just be careful. Have a safe day. And this is not the video I would have wanted to post after the new year. But I've never had anything like this happen to me before. And I'm kind of glad that I'm glad to share. This is still going to be a fucking great year. It just lets me know that, as good and as comfortable and as happy as we move forward in this year, you still have to be aware of your settings. And not everybody has the best intentions for you, and anything can still happen, and that means one way or the other. So have a great, God, it's only Monday. I've worked all weekend. Have a great Monday, and I'll be checking in soon. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later.